Young Living Crown Diamond, Dr. Edie Wadsworth.
Oh my gosh, I am so honored to be here. This is my 10th year with Young Living. It gets sweeter every year, but let's start this off with a personal question. How many of you ladies have been on a roller coaster this year? Oh my gosh, y'all are more fun than I thought. So good. Now keep your hand up if that roller coaster was not actually at a theme park and was just the one going on inside your own body. I see all you hormone girls out there. I did ride an actual roller coaster this summer. My kids, my 20-somethings, talked me into getting on the Wild Eagle at Dollywood. So if I seem a little off-kilter, you can thank Dolly for that. I did spend the entire time on the roller coaster with my eyes shut tight, hands clenched to the bar, screaming at the top of my lungs from the time it took off until the time we finished. Apparently, this ride gives you a beautiful view of the park and of the Smoky Mountains, but I wouldn't know because I had my eyes closed the whole entire time. And when I got off, I did a quick check of my internal organs to see if they were still intact, and I vowed never to take theme park advice from a 20-something with a fully functioning adrenal gland. So, honestly, most of us, roller coasters are not even the closest thing to the wildest ride we've been on in the last few years. You know what is? Hormones. I'm 55 years old. I have 9 children and 3 grandbabies. So hormones are especially important to me right now. And when you're a woman in a season like perimenopause or postpartum or any phase of life where your body decides to throw a biochemical plot twist your way, this is really important. For many of us, our hormones do feel like we're on a wild ride at Dollywood that we can't get off of. They feel unpredictable, out of control, constantly changing. It feels like our bodies are betraying us, often leaving us exhausted and frustrated. And it's not just the symptoms. We often just don't feel like ourselves. Raise your hand if you know what I mean. It's the slow loss of energy, joy, motivation, the inability to remember why you walked into the kitchen, the sense that our fire has gone out, and no matter what we try, we can't seem to get it back. But I want to tell you something right now. Your fire isn't gone. It might be buried in the chaos a little bit, but today we're going to clear the noise, reconnect to your body's own wisdom, and give you some tools that will really help you feel vibrant, alive, and fully yourself again. I promise you, your body is not the problem. It's brilliant. And let's rediscover some of that brilliance today so we can enjoy this amazing wild ride called life. We really are living through a hormone crisis, and nobody's talking about it in the way it needs to be talked about. And this isn't just a midlife inconvenience. It's really a public health crisis affecting nearly every area of a woman's physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Over 80% of women experience major symptoms during perimenopause, like fatigue, mood swings, hot flashes, weight gain, insomnia, brain fog, just to name a few. And 1 in 5 women in the U.S. is prescribed an antidepressant, often to mask the symptoms that are sometimes rooted in hormone imbalance. More than 600,000 hysterectomies are performed in the U.S. each year due to issues like fibroids, heavy bleeding, endometriosis, which are frequently linked to estrogen dominance. Nearly 80% of adults in the U.S. have insulin resistance that may eventually lead to prediabetes, diabetes, and other chronic diseases. So I want to talk to you about 4 major factors that disrupt your hormones, throw them out of balance. And as I lay these out, I want you to remember that these are key areas that you can bring back into balance so that you start to feel like yourself again. Let's start with the first one, kind of a truth bomb that most women never hear. You cannot regulate your hormones if you don't address insulin. High insulin levels wreak havoc on your hormones. Insulin isn't just a blood sugar hormone, it's actually a master hormone that kind of controls the entire hormone symphony. High insulin throws off your estrogen, your progesterone, your testosterone, and your cortisol levels. It contributes to inflammation and weight gain and mood instability. It actually suppresses sex hormone binding globulin, which then allows free estrogen to circulate in your system, causing many of us to be estrogen dominant. And that leads to mood swings, heavy cycles, bloating, weight gain, PMS, lots of symptoms. High insulin also drives inflammation in your body, causes fatigue and stubborn weight gain that won't budge no matter what you try. A quick way to know if you might be insulin resistant, and based on the statistics, probably 70 to 80% of the people in this room are, is if your waist circumference is larger than your hip circumference. The bottom line is you can't fix your hormones without fixing insulin, period. But the good news is insulin is one of the most responsive hormones to lifestyle change. You can support normal insulin levels by eating protein at every meal, by prioritizing movement, especially movement after you eat, reducing processed sugar and starch, and building muscle through strength training. And when we nourish the body deeply with healthy fats and protein, magnesium, B vitamins, adaptogens, and foods that support normal blood sugar, we help regulate insulin, and that influences every other hormone in the body. Insulin actually may be the wildest roller coaster of them all. But with the right rhythms in place and good nutrition, you can smooth the track and steady the ride. Maybe you can even keep your eyes open while you're riding and give your hormones a stable foundation to thrive on. The second factor that adversely affects hormone balance is the loss of lean muscle. I mean, everybody just show us your bicep right now. Let's see how we're all doing here. Muscle isn't just for fitness. It's one of your body's most powerful hormone allies. And starting around age 30, we lose 3 to 8% of our muscle mass per decade if we're not strength training. After age 50, at my age, the loss speeds up to 1 to 2% per year, and even faster once we start into perimenopause and menopause. This age-related muscle loss is called sarcopenia, and it's a major driver of slower metabolism, increased insulin resistance, weakness, fatigue, and weight gain, especially around the midsection. Muscle is our metabolic engine. It helps us burn fat, regulate blood sugar, it supports mood and motivation. And when you lose it, you don't just feel weaker, you become more hormonally vulnerable. Less muscle mass equals more insulin resistance equals more hormone chaos. But here's the beautiful thing. Muscle is rebuildable at any age, and building it is one of the most important things you can do to protect your hormones, your energy, and your longevity. You can start by lifting heavy things. Your body weight even counts. So everybody stand up. We're going to do a little mini hormone reset. Come on, everybody stand up. Even if you're a guy, you can stand up. Yes, in your wedges. Yes, in your dress. Don't worry. We're just going to do 5 air squats. Nobody's going to judge you, but be careful with the hips because it could accidentally become a twerk or something like that. I'm looking at you, Ben, wherever you are. No twerking. Okay, so we're going to count down. We're going to do 5 air squats. Everybody ready? Now, if you have to do it by your chair, you can just, don't sit in your chair, though. Just hover over it. Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm doing this in heels, y'all. 4. Yeah, okay. Listen, just 10. You can sit down now. Thank you so much. Ben, I can confirm Ben did not twerk. Okay. Just doing 10 to 15, even 20 air squats right after your meal. Very stabilizing to your blood sugar. Helps to build your muscle back. It's really important. Other things that really help is getting enough high-quality protein, staying active throughout the day, getting good sunshine, and enough rest to support your muscle repair and your hormone production. Even 2 strength training sessions per week can really turn the tide. When you build muscle, you're not just getting stronger. You're setting your metabolism on fire and giving your body what it needs to come back into balance. You're signaling to your body that you're getting stronger no matter what age you are. Muscle is your body's real fountain of youth. In other words, ladies, thunder thighs are back. And personally, I couldn't be happier. The next factor that disturbs our hormone balance is chronic stress. When stress becomes chronic, your body shifts into survival mode. Your body is always trying to decide, are we surviving or are we thriving? Your sympathetic nervous system gets really activated when you're living in survival mode, and lots of us do this. You live in low-grade fight or flight all the time. And if your body has to choose between survival and between thriving, guess what it chooses? Every single time, survival. It's trying to keep you alive, so it stops keeping you balanced. And cortisol, which is your main stress hormone, competes with estrogen because they're both made from the same molecule. So if you're telling your body, hey, I'm stressed, make more stress hormones, guess what it won't make? Progesterone, estrogen, testosterone. The more stress hormone you ask your body to make, the less female hormones your body will make. And this leads to what we call the pregnenolone steal or progesterone steal, and it disrupts the beautiful balance that your body is always seeking between estrogen and progesterone. Most women in their 40s and even late 30s are walking around progesterone deficient. It's the first hormone that drops as we age, sometimes declining by much as 75%, while estrogen often stays the same or fluctuates. And you will feel this high cortisol, low progesterone state by feeling tired but wired, struggling with your sleep and mood, having a lot of anxiety, sugar cravings, low libido, increased belly fat, and a lot of emotional reactivity. You can literally be doing everything else right, eating well, exercising, taking all the right supplements, but if stress is running the show, your hormones will stay out of rhythm. But here's the hope. You don't have to eliminate all the stress. You just need to teach your body how to feel safe again. And that starts with creating consistent daily rhythms of rest, renewal. Maybe you start practicing something like breath work or journaling. You get plenty of sunlight. You use lots of your oils. You take walks. You prioritize emotional connection. And really, prioritizing sleep is one of the most essential because your hormones do most of their repair work while you sleep. It also means maybe learning to set boundaries, saying no without guilt, giving yourself permission to do things that bring you joy. I learned how to wake surf last year, you guys, at 54 years old, and it has been one of the best things for me to kind of regulate my nervous system, do something just for fun. When your body feels safe again, it stops sounding the alarm, and your hormones can finally come back into balance. The last major factor I want to mention today is lack of proper detox. Now listen, this is not news to this incredible room of natural health enthusiasts, but we are literally swimming in toxins of every kind. And they bind to our hormone receptors, disrupt the messages our hormones are trying to bring, so that even if your body is making enough hormones, often your cells aren't getting the message. If the mailbox is jammed with junk, the message never gets delivered. And so often, our hormone receptors are clogged up. From plastics to pesticides to fragrances to all kinds of synthetic products, there are thousands of endocrine disruptors that we're exposed to every single day. And they're not just annoying, they are very confusing to your body. Hormone receptor sites are like tiny doorways on your cells, designed to receive the instructions that the hormones are bringing. But when your body is dealing with chronic stress, environmental toxins, synthetic hormones, and poor detox pathways, those receptor sites get clogged. And what happens when that message can't get through? Well, the hormones start shouting louder, but your cells still don't respond. Your body isn't ignoring you, it can't hear you because the receptor sites are clogged. It's like yelling instructions through a locked door. Or better yet, it's like riding a wild eagle with your eyes closed and screaming the whole time. The signal might be coming through loud and clear, but you're not receiving it. Your receptor sites are overwhelmed, overstimulated, and shut down to actually hear the message your body's trying to send. You may not need more hormones, depending on your stage of life, but you definitely need to support the detox pathways so that there'll be clear communication from your hormones to your cells. Estrogen, for example, delivers its signal through two major types of receptors, the alpha and beta receptor. The alpha receptor is found in breast tissue, the uterus, and the liver. The beta receptors are more common in the brain, the bones, the heart, and the bladder. Many synthetic or environmental estrogens bind strongly to the alpha receptors, which leads to overstimulation of the breast and uterine tissue, often increasing the risk of side effects. That's why what we put on and in our bodies matters so much, along with how we support our body's ability to detox. Because even when your body makes enough hormones, what happens when they can't hear the hormones is that you can't get that signal through. The other thing that's very common is that hormone metabolites build up in our bodies, especially in women with certain genetic variants called MTHFR. Just a show of hands, how many of you know you have MTHFR? Yeah, I found this out a couple of years ago, and I have really been supporting my detox pathways way more than I used to, and it's made a big difference. Your body is trying to remove the toxins from those receptor sites, but it's almost like the trash never comes to be taken out. So we have to be really mindful about how we're detoxing. Recirculating hormones cause symptoms that won't budge and a body that literally feels like it's stuck in the mud. Thankfully, Young Living is always blazing a trail with products that help us support these pathways so well. So as we wrap up today, I know some of you are listening and thinking, oh my gosh, Dr. Edie, I've been on this hormone roller coaster ride for years. There's no getting off for me. I've tried so many things. Nothing really works. This is just how it is now. Or, worst of all, we adjust to feeling bad. We don't even remember what it was like to feel really energized, to feel really well. We just get used to it. And just because it's common doesn't mean it's normal. And just because you got used to surviving doesn't mean you don't deserve to thrive. So what if you could feel a whole lot better? I promise you it's possible. You were created to feel vibrant. And when we clean up the environment that our hormones are operating in, we can start to feel like ourselves again. We need bodies that can hear the hormones, respond to the hormones that we already make. We need open, responsive receptor sites. We need pathways that detox with ease instead of recycling hormone metabolites. We need to restore the conversation between our hormones and our cells so that our bodies can return to the rhythms they were designed for. So here's what I want you to hear loud and clear. Hormone balance is possible at any age. No matter how off you felt, no matter how overwhelmed it might seem, your body can return to harmony. And if you need living proof of that, please look no further than Mary Young. I mean, isn't she goals? She's like the living, thriving, hormone-balanced blueprint. Proof that age is not the problem, alignment is. So how do we reclaim this hormonal balance and rhythm? We nourish our bodies on purpose with good food. We strengthen ourselves. We prioritize sleep. We clear out the noise, chemically, emotionally, spiritually. We support detox. We stabilize our insulin. We regulate our stress, and we give our bodies the raw materials they need to heal. None of this will work as well as it could if you're carrying around a defeated mindset. In 2013, a few months before I found Young Living, I was so defeated. I felt like my body was betraying me. I thought there was no hope. If you could look at pictures of me back then, I looked 20 years older 10 years ago than I look now. Today, I'm stronger than I've ever been, and I believe that my best days, my strongest days, my most healthy, vibrant days are still ahead. And I am inviting you to decide that for yourself as well. Decide that you are committed to getting stronger, to feeling more alive, no matter what. Not because it's easy, but let me tell you something. In case you haven't noticed, the world really needs you. Your passion, your energy, your love, the way you see the world, all the things that you've learned about natural health. We need you. We need your vision. We need your magic. So do whatever you have to do to heal your body and mind and soul, to become the most magnetic, fully alive version of you. Because that version of you is still in there. And she's a powerhouse. Thank you. Young Living has given me back the best parts of myself. We have everything we need to support our hormones naturally and powerfully at every stage of life, from essential oils that promote a sense of calm and relaxation to incredible supplements that are formulated to support our body's detoxification processes, to our latest innovation designed to aid in resetting those receptor sites and bringing our hormones back into balance. This is the kind of support that helps you finally step off that wild hormone roller coaster and step into a life of energy and peace in powerful alignment with how your body was created to feel and function. I am so incredibly proud to be part of a company that has led the way in natural health for decades, always with so much integrity, innovation, and deep respect for how our bodies function. I'm also really looking forward to what's ahead, especially with the exciting new product that I've been taking for about a month. It is incredible. I can't wait for you to hear about it. I am so thankful for these last 10 years, for products that have changed my life, for being introduced to the most amazing people I have ever met, and for Young Living continuing to innovate to give us products that help us rock literally every stage of life. Thank you so much.